one of the most important things that we light workers, those of us who are on the spiritual awakening journey, ascending, integrating our higher version, raising our vibration, we need to do is to really be true to ourselves, really be true to our heart, and don't lose ourselves in this 3D world's demands, which constantly wants us to, you know, not listen to our heart, not listen to our intuition, not listen to what our body is saying, you know. And that is one of the most important shift that is happening right now. We are coming to the yin energy because the yang energy has been too dominant. And this is what I want to share with you today. What is this shift that is happening in the collective, and how we are guided towards balancing our yin energy? All right, so let's begin. Okay, so ever since I came out of my dark night of the soul in mid 2020, big shift started happening within me, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you are experiencing that as well. Is that you are becoming more connected with your intuition, you are following your heart, you are listening to the signals of your body. You are not pushing yourself like how you used to. You're not just trying to get things done because you have experienced the burnout, you have experienced the misalignment, you have experienced the disharmony that comes in every area of your life, be it personal relationships or career or health, when you do not listen to your heart, to your intuition. And now you want to listen to your intuition, stay in the flow, don't force yourself, stay true to your authentic energy. Authenticity is becoming a very big thing, one of the biggest lessons that is coming in when it comes to the collective rising to higher stages of consciousness, which is apparently what is going on. But it's not an easy journey, because the 3D world, which still a lot of people are there in, who are not yet going through the spiritual awakening process, in every aspect of the 3D world, one thing that has been dominant is the yang energy. So if you know about the yin and the yang represents the masculine energy, the yin represents the feminine energy. But the thing that I would like to clarify before I move forward to any of those things is that yin and yang, the divine masculine energy and the divine feminine energy, has nothing to do with male or female or gender or anything when it comes to our physical bodies. No, it has something to do with our energy. It has to do with the duality or the dual nature of the universe. But it does not have to do with you being a guy, a girl, woman, man, nothing. No. You see, the yin and the yang essentially represents the dual nature of reality, because that is how it is. Yin represents flow, intuition, trust, surrender, beauty, all those things. Whereas yang represents the masculine energy, which is about rigidity, structure, control, focus, discipline, all those things. And if you have been in this world, you have seen for a very long time the world has been very much yang dominated, and that is very much apparent in the hustle culture or the grind culture. You will see people out there, the more you go into developed parts of the world, metropolitan cities, you know cities and towns, corporates, you will see the energy becomes more and more yang dominated. People talk about productivity, how much things you have got done, or how much money you have made, or how much things you have acquired, how much people are working under you, or how many things you have in your house. All those things are very, very masculine energy. Nothing wrong with it, but if it doesn't have the balance of the yin energy, which is about trusting your intuition, surrendering to the universe, staying in the flow, following your heart, following your inspiration, following your calling, living in alignment with your truth, your authenticity, your integrity. If those things are not there, then the world gets very, very imbalanced, which is what is happening pretty much right now. A lot of us are experiencing misalignment in the forms of we cannot do our normal day-to-day jobs. A lot of light workers, a lot of people who are going through the spiritual awakening process immediately feel this discord that they cannot do a normal 9 to 5 job. Why? Because the dominance of the yang energy will not allow spiritual ascension. Spiritual ascension requires trust in the divine guidance within yourself. And the yang energy is all about, when it's imbalanced, it's like, no, you cannot take time to rest. You cannot take time to meditate. You cannot take time to face your negative emotions. You just take a pill, or suppress your negative emotions through distractions or, like alcohol, medication, at most pay some money, get some therapy, but don't take time for doing inner work, because that takes time. It wants you to do things every day, 7 days a week, how many work hours, and all of those things, if you have noticed, has not been resonating with you. And your inner guidance, the more you are following your inner guidance, is asking you to take breaks. And that is why, if you have seen me, I do not get to be consistent in my YouTube channel. I've tried to be consistent with my YouTube channel. I have been running this YouTube channel for the last 4.5 years, exactly when I came out of the dark night of the soul, and I was called to become a spiritual teacher and coach. But one of my biggest challenge till date has been being consistent, which a lot of people in the YouTube world and the business world and the coaching world, they keep asking. It comes from a very 3D place, that you have to be consistent, you have to be persistent, you have to post this many things, this many videos every day. I've tried to do that before, but my inner guidance does not allow me to do that. And that is why many times, if you have been a follower of my channel for some time, you have seen me posting videos for a while and then going away, and again posting videos for a while and then going away. Now the 3D world does not reward it. The algorithm and YouTube does not reward it, which is why, I do not probably get as many views or reaches or subscribers, because the 3D world is like, you need to do post, compete, but I can't do that. I cannot allow myself to do that, because when my intuition says stop, come back to yourself, integrate, face some of the things that is coming up, because every single month there is a rise of yang energy when it wants you to do things, and it comes back to the yin energy when it wants you to come back to yourself, meditate, do inner work. Now if I don't do that, if you don't do that, if you don't take time to rest, relaxation, meditation, doing inner work, being with yourself, taking time for yourself, what is going to happen is you are going to not be in balance with your yin and yang energy. You're not going to be able to transmute some of the emotions that you need to transmute, and you're going to suppress that, which will later lead to burnout, breakdown, that will affect all areas of your life. The 3D world gives you and paints a picture of superficial success. You see a lot of people who are having superficial success. They have the car, the money, the success, the fame, the everything. But you have seen time and again, those people go through burnout. They lose everything. They seem to have everything, but their personal inner life they're not happy. They're not in harmony. And the more you're ascending, the more you're realizing these things. When you see those things, see that lifestyle, that golden dream picture, does not resonate with you anymore. You don't vibe with that anymore, because you're not even chasing that anymore, because you are realizing what is most important to you is your inner harmony, your inner peace. You have recognized those superficialities, they're not going to bring you inner harmony and peace. Does that mean that you are not going to experience or want to experience abundance and financial abundance and every abundance in every area? No. Of course you are going to have that, but from an aligned place, from a heart and soul aligned place, not sacrificing your integrity, not sacrificing your soul alignment, not sacrificing your connection with your divine spirit, with your higher self, right? So this is what is happening. This is something that I wanted to share with you, that if you are feeling this constant tug which is asking you to not force yourself to do things anymore, take time for yourself, take breaks, take rest, do the inner work, do the shadow work, be still, then that is not an accident. A lot of us are experiencing it because the world is going through a massive shift. A spiritual awakening is happening to the collective. And one of the major things that is happening is balancing of the yin and yang energy. And in order to balance the yin energies, we need to trust, we need to surrender. So do not be afraid when you are not following the norms. Do not be afraid when you are not following what the 3D world is saying, to be a certain way, to do things a certain way. Because believe me, those things work in the 3D world, in the third density. In the fourth density, they don't work. In the fourth density, it's all about inner alignment, and you are realizing it. So you can leave behind the rules of the 3D world, because you and us who are following our inner guidance, living in inner alignment, honoring our intuition, and living authentically to our true self, we are giving birth to a new world, the fourth density world, the world of heart-led, soul-led people, entrepreneurs, guides, coaches, healers. We're going to live in alignment with our soul purpose journey. So you're giving birth to a new world. So it's time to leave the old rules that don't apply, because in the new world, the only rule that applies is the rules of the heart, the rules of your inner alignment. So if you have resonated with everything that I've shared with you, do leave a comment. Let me know what has resonated. And if you want to receive in-depth information, guidance, and wisdom on the spiritual awakening journey, I write newsletters which I share with my newsreaders, where I share a ton of information on the spiritual awakening journey. I'm much more consistent when it comes to writing my newsletters than making videos, because writing comes much more easier to me. Sometimes I feel called to making videos, but much often I write newsletters where I share a ton of information. I also share, invitations for my free masterclass sessions, free group coaching sessions, my programs, my offerings in those newsletters as well. If you want to receive those in-depth guidance right in your inbox, then sign up for my Wizard Consciousness newsletters. Link is in the description of this video. And if you have enjoyed this video, then do give this video a like, subscribe to my channel, click the bell notification, and I will see you again soon. Have an awesome day ahead.